folks, welcome to another one of the editions on YouTube. On this one I'm actually not going to be talking about crypto. I'm going back to the importance of ketogenic diet and how important it is to actually stick to a really basic diet if you have been ill with stomach or any sort of physical injuries, and stick with that for a few months to a year, and be really ultra careful with the macros. So we're looking at really low carbs and sugars, and that's basically what I've done, and avoided grains. But now I'm getting to the stage where I'm kind of like developing a little bit of a sweet tooth, but not really. I'm still not going over my 10% a day, although yesterday I did have a few things that were well over. But that's the beauty about being on keto. If you're strict enough, even if you do have some sweets and some grains, if you're strict enough, your ketos will still be kicking out. And I don't feel like I've actually gone below my keto levels from that meal last night, just because I've been eating really low carbs and sugars for months now. And what happens as well is, if you do find yourself eating some sugars and carbs at a high amount, just eat a lot of fats and a lot of yogurts, plain stuff afterwards, and it basically levels out in your system. So you're not basically spiking your blood cell levels by pumping loads of sugar and carbs into the system. And really, sugars are more like wasps and bees' food, really, and hummingbirds, humming wasps. That's their type of food. They fly, they get high, that's what they need, that's how they do it. And on the other side, we're not cattle, we don't have 7 stomachs to digest all that grass. And if you look at grass, when it's left to grow, it always develops grains on the end. And you know, having basically wheat and all the barley and all that, all types of grasses, and our stomachs aren't really designed for those. And this is the thing with it is, when you make pasta and when you make like flour cinnamon rolls and all these beautiful things, they look so nice and they're crusty and they've got a nice taste and texture, but they're really terrible for you. So on this edition, I'm going to be looking at cinnamon rolls, but low carb cinnamon rolls, and just look at those. Straight off the bat though, you can, if you look at the dish here, you can see it's a bit low. And there is one trick actually, I actually said or swell on someone's channel, is what you do is, once you've actually made the dough, let it stand outside on the counter on your kitchen for at least sort of 6 to 8 hours, and you'll find that there's loads of natural yeast bacteria in the air anyway. It's one of the best products the kitchen has, really, if you look at it, especially if you're making sourdough bread and things like that, and fermentation. Yeah, it's extracting that free yeast all around you in the kitchen, basically using that yeast to then make those cinnamon rolls rise that much more. And that was my only gripe with this, was that, well, it looked a bit flat, and obviously you don't want to put yeast in it, because that's not good for the system as well. It's too much estrogen, and that really doesn't help you out as well. So why not use the yeast around you? So the main ingredient of this is like a coconut flour flathead, and believe it or not, you're using grated mozzarella in this, and you're also using something like Philadelphia cream cheese, you're using eggs, you're going to be using vanilla essence, you're also going to be using obviously a lot of cinnamon. And what they do is you make like and you're also going to be using stevia, which is a natural alternative for sugar, and you're basically going to make a mix, and then you're going to be putting it on your dough, and you want the dough about, I think it's about 12 inches long and about 10 inches wide, and you want it in a square. And now a lot of people were saying that you roll it from the small side across. Well, someone was saying in the comments, and I actually agree with this, if you roll it from the long way down across, it's actually much easier to do. And the other thing is, don't be worried when you've got it on the greasing paper and it's sticking a bit. Just be gentle and just basically ease the whole thing up on each side. So ease it on the bottom side, then the top side, and it should come off all right. And then, yeah, what I will do is I'm going to leave this link for this article here, and you can basically have a go at that. And you've got all the ingredients here. Then you can basically have a go at that, and just try and bear in mind that thing about the yeast though. Be patient with these. Stick these on the side, the dough on the side for, like I say, 6 to 8 hours, if not better. Leave it overnight, because you really want to get that rise. Now the other thing is, you're probably thinking, what do you want mozzarella and that grated? Well, the thing is, once you mixed it with all the other things, it actually helps it rise and gives it a nice texture, the actual cinnamon roll, but you don't actually taste it, it blends right in. So that is a really good option there. And yeah, if I quickly flip over to this one, this one is, I don't know if you was a kid at school, but we used to have these caramel tarts. So it was this stuff, well, it wasn't this stuff because it was sugar. There was a sugar caramel mix on top of like a crusty pastry, and it was so nice. But this is the keto caramel sauce, and this looks awesome, and I'm going to be making this. So unsalted butter, erythritol, which is like a powdered version of a stevia, heavy cream, so you can use that clotted cream, vanilla, essence, and a pinch of salt. And someone from America was going on about one called banana essence as well, so I'm going to try and find that. But that banana essence looks really, really strong. These ones look amazing. How about making that as well? Keto colourful roll cake. So yeah, going back to keto, really, if you're ill and you want to go onto keto, you want to be strict on keto for a few months until you feel better. And then you want to start dabbling out and basically enriching your diet with variations. So basically for me is, I feel I'm happy with my keto diet and the basicness of it. But yeah, we all love a dessert, you know, and that's the thing. And that's what got me into the trouble in the first place with my health, was desserts and stuff. And the way that sugar and those carbs, like, you know, the flours and the sugars reacted, really didn't help me at all. So now I can have the best of both worlds. I can have something that looks really nice, tastes wonderful, got a lovely texture, and is a really nice thing for an end of a meal, just to make you full that much more. And I think for me, just not having just like a full meal for many days, keto does help me with the intermittent fasting. But because I've still got issues with weight and stuff, what I'm realising is, if I have these desserts on top of the keto meals I have, when it comes to intermittent fasting, I don't think it's going to be that difficult for me to fast for like 3 or 4 days. Rather, at the moment, I have difficulty sort of fasting for like a couple of days in a way, even though it's really important to do on a keto. So yeah, I'm really looking to eat a lot of like natural savoury food, but then a lot of like dessert keto food without actually any sugars or carbs in it, and actually fill my stomach up that much more. And I really, like I say, I want to be able to go for like 3 or 4 days without, because you feel full all the time, you don't want to eat, and then your body can actually repair itself, and then you can actually spend more time healing yourself up, and then actually starting to look, you know, to either improve the work that you're doing, or to look for the right work to get involved in, basically. So yeah, that's basically my take on keto and illness, and getting to the stage where you can start making lovely desserts like this. And I will be doing a few more vidcasts on this, with a couple more, with quite a few more ingredients. And on the next videos as well, I'll be leaving you some links for really good keto channels, cookery channels that I've been watching as well. So anyway, thanks very much for your time. Cheers, bye.